Hey guys, welcome back to the Firebrand Show. We are back this week with a part 2 with our friend Eliot Bland. So if you haven't watched last week's, pause, go watch it, and then come on back. But if you have watched it, then let's get started. Okay, so before we kick off this week's episode with Eliot, we're just going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to chat. And we're going to get the elephant out of the room first. We are wearing different outfits than what we are talking, the outfits we wear when we talk to Eliot. And that's okay. It's the beauty of editing, and filming days sometimes go a little bit longer. So we're back in studio, so we thought we'd sit down now. Okay, girl math. Have you seen this trend on TikTok?
You've shown me one example of it.
Okay. We're going to give some girl math examples.
Before we dive into that, since we're talking about math.
How it's like my my lowest graded subject.
Yeah.
Although our son is you, because his math scores are off the charts.
Whenever we started dating, I don't know if we were married at this point.
Yes, because I had a theory.
You were finishing school online. And you...
Don't you dare say where.
I'm not going to say where. She was finishing school online. And she had to take a placement test for math to determine how many levels of math
this is horrible.
She needed to finish.
The fact that you are exposing this right now.
So, listen. We were married.
To be fair, I don't use my degree anymore, okay? Like, I don't use it currently, so just put that there.
I was like, you know what? I'm great in math. Why don't I help you with this test? And so I basically took it for her and tested her out of all math that she needed to take in order to complete her degree. So she had to take 0 math because of my math testing. Which
I'm like really grateful for. And okay, in my defense, here was why I thought it was okay. We were married. 2 shall become 1.
Yep.
So if we're 1, which one doesn't matter takes the test. As long as one of us takes the test. That was how I justified it in my mind. Was that right or not? Do not do that, kids. Math? Do not do that. What?
I said, do you use any math in your job?
No.
Exactly.
I don't.
So you're okay.
I don't use any math in my job.
You could do basic math. That's all you need.
That's all I need. But when our son comes home and asks, and when he's in like pre-cal, I'm going to go to dad because clearly I'm not going to be able to help him.
Yep. All right. So girl math.
Girl math. Okay.
Yes.
Girl math. I'm going to give you an example. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
If you buy a purse for $300, but use it every day, that's less than $1 a day. If you think about it, that's not expensive, and it's a steal compared to buying a $50 product that you only use once. So that purse is actually an investment. You're so mad at me. I'm not saying this is my girl math.
You've never tried to use this type of math.
Okay, this one I actually do agree with.
You know it won't work.
Okay, whatever. This one I agree with. Ready?
Go ahead.
You're going to get so mad. Using cash is basically free. It's free because stop. It's free because cash is not real money, and the money in your bank account isn't decreasing. So the money in your bank account is not decreasing. So the cash is free.
I'm just gonna let that one marinate for a while.
Okay, ready?
So if I had a job, I got paid in cash, never put it into our bank account, you wouldn't care because it was never there.
It's free.
It's just extra money, free money.
Okay, I got another one.
That's your math?
This is actually math that I do agree with, right?
I'm going to start doing cash jobs now.
No, oh my gosh. Well, then it's free money. No. Okay. Buying a $40 dress that was originally $70, you're making $30 profit.
Is this your free money that you're getting too?
Is it bought with cash or card?
If it was bought with cash, then you're like double.
You want one more?
Oh my gosh. All right, last one. Here we go.
Okay.
Send help.
Buying for a $40 hour workout class is an investment in your mental health. The workout class is cheaper than therapy. If therapy costs around $150 or more per hour, taking 4 workout classes weekly is a bang for your buck, as it's only $160. And you get to release endorphins, which equals happiness.
I'm so glad that these are other people's examples.
Well, what if I told you they were ones I wrote down?
They are not.
What do you think of girl math?
Girl math.
What do you think of this trend?
You know, it makes sense that it's girl math.
Hey, nice. No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna start the new trend, guy math.
Okay.
I don't have any right now, but I'll figure it out.
Start a new trend?
I'm gonna start a new one.
Okay.
And I'll bring it to you, and you tell me if it's plausible or not.
Okay.
So
just
we'll
remember
come
that
back.
cash is free.
Guy math.
Cash is free.
Yeah. You remember that?
Cash is
you
free.
remember that.
Oh man. All right. What do we got going on in this episode?
Yeah. So we're gonna jump into a topic here with Eliot Bland in a minute. So once we get settled, we'll be right back.
It goes back to that like more than survival mindset, you know?
Yeah.
I think sometimes as Christians, we can look at like culture and feel like we're fighting a losing battle. Yeah. But we are clearly not. Like scripture is super clear to the fact that we serve a God that has already defeated the enemy that is against us. Like we fight from victory, not for victory.
Yeah.
But I think the reason it feels like we're fighting a losing battle is because, like you're saying, we're fighting the wrong battle.
Yeah.
We're fighting against people we should be fighting for.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, we're fighting against people we should be fighting with.
Yeah, that's good.
Alongside of, right? Because that's the other thing. There's so much wasted time in church fighting against other believers over petty differences.
Yeah. Yep.
Over someone who didn't say hi to me or took my parking spot or whatever. And we're missing the point of what we are, right?
Yeah.
We are this rescue mission.
Yeah.
And I think that's key. Another thing to this point that I think is worth pointing out, especially for students, like another part of this tension is like to have firm footing and firm foundation, like to be able to actually stand for truth, sometimes does take recognizing where you are not effective. So for instance, when I had my real salvation experience, I grew up in church, so I can't count how many times I raised my hand
Every Sunday.
Repeated the prayer. Yeah, dude. When I'd go on roller coasters, Jesus, come back to my heart. Just so, I just gotta
I just want to make sure.
those buzzer beater moments. You never know what's gonna happen. But the real moment where I feel like my life was never the same, a revelation of who God was. I was a sophomore in high school, and my parents' faith wasn't enough for me anymore. I was like, okay, I feel like this is what everybody else is doing. Everybody lives this life. Everyone that I've ever heard has a testimony of what they used to do. So maybe I should do some stuff so I can tell people what I used to do.
Yeah.
And I was at a moment where I was going to go to a football game and then lie to my parents and say I was going to In-N-Out, but actually go to a party and break their trust. And I kind of had made up my mind. I'm like, I'm just going to do this. Yeah. I want what all of my friends at school have. They seem like they're having so much fun. And I was in my room alone and I felt God speak to me, not audibly, but like in my spirit and say, what are you doing? You have what they're looking for.
Wow.
And that was transformative for the rest of my life. But I knew in that moment I had to make some changes because I was spending so much time with this group of people, and they were having more of an influence on me than I was on them. Yeah. And I had to step back a little bit. Wow. I didn't have to make it this huge thing and be like, you guys, doing this for God. I just stepped back a little bit and it was tough. Like there was group messages I wasn't included in anymore. There were things I weren't invited to anymore, but I also still was intentional about maintaining friendship with them. Wow. But on the terms of, I want to be an influence. I don't want to be influenced. And again, not making them my project, not making every conversation about, so, what do you think about Jesus? Like, there's a phrase that I like. It gets like some heat sometimes, but it's from, it's accredited to different people, but most commonly accredited to St. Francis. Preach the gospel at all times, and when necessary, use words, right? Yeah. The when necessary, use words part is the part that people don't like. It's always necessary, of course. We know that. Yeah. But what he's saying is live this life where Jesus is seen, be a light. Yeah. And so I just think that there is something worth pointing out that like recognizing where you're effective. If you have struggled in the past with substance abuse, then the bar is probably not your mission field. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think just recognizing that, because like our flesh will be drawn towards that life. Yeah. Like we have to be intentional and careful when it comes to this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I think that's just like a piece of this conversation that sometimes we don't have. Yeah. That doesn't mean we should not be friends with non-believers. Just like we need to make sure that we're aware and we're self-reflecting and self-adjusting at times. Okay, am I having more of an influence or are they having more of an influence?
That's really good.
You know?
Yeah.
That's so good. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to encourage the students watching, like we've been talking to our students a lot about this, but the 11 out of the 12 disciples were teenagers.
Yeah.
And if God used them to cast out demons, if God used them to perform miracles, who's to say, in a world of non-believers too, right? Like this was the first ever church movement. Like Jesus was on the scene and salvation was available to them. And he used teenagers. And I think that speaks so prophetically to God using the next generation to build upon what he started
for sure
2,000 years ago.
Again, I think we miss so many moments, like because we compartmentalize spirituality to a service on a Wednesday night or Sunday morning or a Sunday night, and we miss miraculous moments. Like there was a time when I was the youth pastor at La Palma, and we would go to In-N-Out every single night because we were like contractually obligated to go to In-N-Out, right? And I wouldn't eat with the students because I wanted to go to every single table and like talk to everybody. And also I prefer to eat at home. I don't know. I'm not like I will eat.
Actually, that's true about you because at youth camp, I remember being like, I don't think I've seen Eliot eat a meal. Like I remember turning to me like, I don't think he picked up a tray of food.
I had like Uncrustables in my room. I'm not against, I'll eat with people. I'm not a crazy person, but I do prefer to eat at home. I mean, even crazier hot take, me and Tanner, we eat meals in our bed. So that's a big controversy for people.
That is.
But
I don't like crumbs in our bed. Well,
look, that's the other thing. People always say that. Neither do we. We're not living in squalor and just like,
you got bowls of ice cream piling
up everywhere. We got like, TV trays and stuff like that. But anyways, so I would always go after In-N-Out to Taco Bell. After service, I get my order at Taco Bell. It was like I'm a creature of habit. Yeah. Another hot take for you guys. Taco Bell for me is a nighttime fast food restaurant. Yes. I will not eat Taco Bell for lunch. Like just mentally something about it.
It's the fourth meal.
It sits heavy. And so I'm like, I don't need anyone to diagnose me with anything. All right. Look, but I would go there and I'd go there so consistently. The girl who worked the drive-thru, she always worked Tuesday nights, started to know me and know my order, right? And I'm not saying, I don't know if she was into me or not. All I know is like she would give me a discount and I'd order a medium Dr. Pepper. She'd give me a large. Yeah.
Was it Tanner? No.
It was not. It's up for you guys to decide what that means. But like we had a friendship, a bond. And one time I went to Taco Bell, Tanner's in the car and I'm ordering. I'm like, I need you to pretend you're my sister, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I did not do that. But we're going through and I asked this girl, how's it going? I always would say that. And all we ever talked about was Taco Bell. Like that was the depth of our relationship. Right. Be like, oh, you're getting 5 tacos instead of 4? You're crazy. Like stuff like that, you know? For whatever reason that day, I said, how are you doing? And she kind of just broke down through the drive-thru, right? And she told us about some crazy stuff that had been going on in her life. And it was very heavy and intense. And I missed the moment. I kind of just said like, oh man, that's a bummer. I'm so sorry about that. And it was sort of like what an easy opportunity for me to have presented her with the best news she could ever hear. Yeah. Right? The answer that she'd been searching for, praying to a God who could hear her and do something about it. But for whatever reason, just a couple hours before, I had been speaking to a room full of teenagers about the good news of Jesus and the gospel. And in the drive-thru at Taco Bell, I had just completely missed it. And so I think that's the thing. We compartmentalize, and I think we miss moments and opportunities that are before us all the time with our friends, with our family members, with our coworkers, because we have the answer people are searching for.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are dead in the trespasses and sins that they're walking in. Like, this is not the answer. As much as they try to put up a front, relationship with Jesus is what we were created for.
Yeah.
So I think knowing that is sort of the foundation of how we have these interactions, you know, and look for those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to keep this conversation kind of going a little bit more with this, because when you look at Gen Z, we know the statistics that Barna has released. We talk about it all the time on this show. That Gen Z is one of the most optimistic generations, that they want to stand for truth. They want to stand for good things. They want to stand for change. They want to stand for all the positivity that they possibly can. When you hear that stat and you just shared that moment that you've had, where do you feel Gen Z is going to take this? Like taking the should I be friends with non-believers and knowing that they are the most optimistic, positive generation. What do you see for the future for Gen Z?
Yeah. Well, even just like their drive to activism and like be involved in causes. Like, I had students in 2020 like donating money and doing all this stuff to causes they did no research behind, but their heart was, I want to be a part of change. I want to do more than just talk about it. And so that's why the mission of Youth Alive is, hey, this is a mission field, you're a missionary. That's why Youth Alive for me isn't about, let's launch a club. I think clubs are useful tools, and I'll help groups do that from time to time. But my goal is, I want you to live missionally minded. Because if you go on a missions trip overseas, what do you see? Crazy things. You see healing happen. You're seeing demons cast out. You got the confidence to go to a stranger on the street. You don't even speak the same language, but you share the gospel with them and their lives change. Like, you can't come back from a missions trip the same way that you left it. So we've been saying for years, though, the greatest mission field in the world is a junior high and high school campus. But I asked myself this question, why then are we not seeing that happen
in junior high and high school?
100%. And I think the answer is because as much as we believe it's a mission field, we've not been sending missionaries. And the students are the ones that can do that. And so that's, I do believe in them. I do believe it, that, like, this could be the generation that fulfills the Great Commission, right? Like they have that passion, they have that drive. And on top of all of that, we don't do this through our own strength and through our own abilities. It's the Spirit of God that transforms people's lives. And so a generation that's just willing and available to the Spirit of God moving, I mean, there's no telling what can happen. I do believe revival can take place. And the beauty of even our position coming from Southern California, Las Vegas, areas of extreme darkness, right? That's where a light shines the brightest. So when everybody's trying to leave and go to these other places, I think there's something about that remnant, that few that stay and say, no, we have the answer people are searching for. If we all leave and move to a different state, who's going to reach these ones that are here? And I think these students have that mindset as well. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to take place.
Yeah.
Well,
I love that.
Amazing conversation. I wish we could continue for, another, 20, 30, 40 minutes. But we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you, Eliot, for this conversation. If anyone that's watching wants to kind of reach out to you, what's the best way they can do that? Either through social media or email? How do you want people to find you?
Social media is probably the easiest way because I think I have my email and stuff connected to that. So, do you want me to say what that is? Okay, Eliot.Boyd.Bland.
But you're Eliot with one L.
Yeah, one L,
we'll
one T.
Put it on the screen.
I'm different. It's
one L, one T.
I'm different. My parents wanted me to be different. It's always spelled wrong. I speak at churches with my name spelled wrong on the background.
Do you make fun of it?
Nah, I've learned to live with it because honestly, it's probably my parents' fault. Like it's not like I'm doing it the normal way and they did it weird. I'm the one who switched it. They're spelling it the normal way. The normal way is 2 L's. But
that's
1
so
L, 1
funny.
T.
Eliot.Boyd.Bland.
Eliot.Boyd.Bland. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eliot.
That was such a good conversation we just had with Eliot in part 2. Make sure you watch both parts. But we wanted to have a little bit of fun before we ended this episode. So we have a little game that you put together. So go ahead and tell us about it.
I did. Okay. So basically, I saw this on TikTok. Thought it'd be fun. But basically, what you do is you have 1 cup up there, And your objective is to get as many Starbursts into that cup in a 30-second timer. But the other cups, you put on your hands.
Okay.
I'm doing it. Listen. Okay. And so you pick them up, you put them in.
Got it. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
All right.
On the clock.
You count us down.
Yep. And one of our incredible producers and camera guys, Matt, is going to let us know when the 30 seconds is up. Right, Matt?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, wow. This is harder than I anticipated. No. How are you doing this? Oh. Wait, does that count still?
Oh.
Did it come out?
I don't know. Come here.
I am failing miserably. Oh my goodness. Nope.
It's the effort
How are you doing this?
It's the effort that counts.
Oh, I got one. Is that time? Time.
Right.
Wait, I had 2.
I
think I had 3 then. I don't know. One fell out.
All right.
How many do you have?
All right, so here's how many I have.
Oh, wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I have all of these. Look at how good.
Wow, you did so good. Is that your girl math?
You got jokes. You got jokes. That is my girl math. I'm going to enjoy a Starburst. Guys, do you like pink Starburst? Because
what's your favorite color Starburst? Obviously, this bag is
we love the reds.
The pink red bag.
What do they call
The best one is... It's one of the pinks. It's honestly...
Picking up this ASMR.
I think it's... I honestly don't remember.
Oh, there's 2 different shades
There's
of pink.
2. This one has strawberry and watermelon.
There are 4 types.
Which is
this.
your favorite Starburst?
What is your favorite Starburst? I'm now chewing something, so can you?
Yeah. With that, we'd like to thank you for joining us, watching the Firebrand Show here on CTN Vegas. Make sure you tune in every week, if you can, Thursday nights on CTN Vegas, or catch it on YouTube. We love having you with us every single week. We'll catch you next week.